Good morning. I just wanted to make a video, just the emotions that have come up for me in the last couple of days. I'm really enjoying this process of just watching the emotions that come up, trying to identify them, and where they stem from, where that comes from. And then seeking to heal, to move past it. I've been practicing guitar more, and feel like the emotions, the triggers that were coming up when I'm getting something wrong or not quite right, aren't as strong. Like, they're still there, but they're just sort of mellowed, I suppose, and not so frequent, which is really great now that I've sort of identified that one. I feel like I'm in the process of healing and releasing that. Something came up for me yesterday. I had an opportunity to put some boundaries. No, I wouldn't call them boundaries as such, but an opportunity to, you could do, express my something, express to the people that I live with about something that I wasn't happy with. I felt like I was taking on the lion's share of all the work, and I'd really worked myself up over talking to them about it, and going through the asking myself, like, am I justified in this feeling, or is I didn't know if I was being reasonable or not, and then seeing it as something like the dishes. It's like something so trivial, and saying, telling myself, I know you should just do it. But yes, I did. I plucked up the courage to talk to them about it, and I actually got really emotional afterwards, because my experience with conflict or confrontation, or even though whenever I deliver something like that, I always try and say it in a nice way, in a non-confronting way, but it's often met with defensiveness, and gone into further conflict. But this time it wasn't. I'm being repeatedly shown by my boyfriend and the people around me that I am actually in a safe space, and I can express how I feel, and it will be met, it will be heard, it will be understood, and talked about in a calm, non-confronting way. And the relief that I felt after having said it, and it had been received well, brought me to tears, because I had realised that that wasn't a normal occurrence for me. But it really allowed me to have compassion for myself, and just to hold that almost grief-like feeling, hold that space for myself, to have not experienced that receptiveness in the past, and just also having that gratitude and appreciation for being able to have that space now. And I just felt so much more love for the people around me, just that feeling of being held, and being okay to voice things, and not being held against me, or no feelings of blame or resentment or anything came up in response to me going, hey, like, I'm not quite happy with this. Felt a lot of gratitude. I know that I do dabble in astrology a little bit. I can't remember exactly. I'm still learning. But I know Chiron which is our wounded healer. It highlights where our wounds are. But it's also the path to our healing, that's in place somewhere, but in effect, affecting us right now until August, and I do feel that like a lot of my wounds are showing themselves to me at the moment. Another aspect is like feelings of rejection have been coming up. If and I strongly believe in the law of attraction. We attract scenarios around us, circumstances around us, people around us. We all energetically attract those things to perpetuate and strengthen our core belief system that we have about ourselves. And so what's being shown to me is I'm feeling a lot of rejection coming up, and from multiple sources. Like I went to go and visit my sister the other day, and in the hope that she would want to just hang out with me, and normally, like, she's always ready to hang out with me, but she was really intent on gardening, and so I left her to it. But yeah, these feelings of rejection came up, and then again with my boyfriend, like just slight perceptions from myself of not having the right amount of affection, which I was of course perpetuating in my own mind, but it's fantastic because it's bringing all of these feelings to the surface and making me aware of them. And I just noticed the negative thought pattern in my head, and the instant subconscious thoughts that are becoming more and more conscious now are, oh, you're not wanted, you're not loved, you're not attractive, like just all these stupid subconscious things that have come up, and I really sort of delved deep as to where that had come from, and it does stem back to childhood, that core belief of not being enough. But in my relationship experiences, my first serious boyfriend when I was 14 ended up cheating on me, and it absolutely broke my heart. It was so unexpected, and really, really shattered my self-worth. And obviously I wasn't aware of this at the time, but looking back on my relationships, I became really, really guarded. I would not allow myself to go deep with anybody. I was always the one to break it off. Like, since that point, no one has ever broken up with me. I'm always the one to run. And it's until now, up until this point, this is the first relationship I've had where I could feel that I'm allowing myself to be vulnerable again, and it's fucking scary. But it's fantastic. I've stopped shying. I've stopped becoming fearful of heartbreak. I'm really trying to embrace that polarity of if I can allow myself to be vulnerable and experience, be open to experiencing pain as an emotion, and just see it for what it is. It's an emotion that will pass through me. Everything is temporary. But to experience that allows me to experience intense highs. So much love, so much joy, so much compassion, and gratitude and appreciation. And yeah, so because I'm now finally allowing myself, like, the walls to crumble down, so to speak, all these old wounds are coming up. That's what I've discovered. anyway, and this negative self-talk is knocking at my door, which I'm now aware of. Normally it's subconscious and we don't even realize what our negative self-talk is saying to us. Well, I didn't until the last few years. I've become more and more aware of it, and it's no longer subconscious, it's becoming conscious, and I catch myself going, oh my god, did I just think that about myself? But yeah, so I do a lot of rituals and mantras in releasing any negative thought patterns or any beliefs of being less than who I am. But it's really interesting that it's coming up now. So I'm trying not to let it consume me. I'm just trying to let it to objectively observe it, to look at it without judgment, without fear, without rejection. So not rejecting those parts of me either, but just allowing it and sitting with it. And in doing so, not only allowing it to show me what I'm supposed to be learning from it, but to then release it. It's not going to be trapped within me. I think Eckhart Tolle talks about the pain body, and I also have a book called Metaphysical Anatomy by Yvette Rose, which is fantastic. It talks about any physical ailment that we have can be related to an emotional trauma that we've held on to, that becomes trapped within our body and manifests as a physical pain or ailment in some way. And it's absolutely fascinating. My daughter woke up early hours of my eldest daughter woke up early hours of this morning with a massive earache. She was screaming in pain, and so I gave her some pain relief, but also looked up in the book the earache, and yeah, it talks about being on the left side as well, which is your mother, your feminine side, your mother wounds, and yeah, holding on to an influence, most likely me, where I've been overbearing and controlling, and while I may not exhibit those things so much now, I can do when I'm not feeling good, but definitely in my past parenting experiences, and it's just a reminder to not only be gentle on myself but on my kids as well. Yeah. So I'm just going through my memories of the last few days. When was it? I think it might have been Sunday. A couple of days ago, I was feeling quite overwhelmed with the girls. They were very, very loud, very demanding of my attention, and I felt like I needed to just go inwards for a little bit. I felt quite exhausted because I'd spent quite a lot of time being present with them earlier and the previous day. And I was watching a video by Eckhart Tolle about practicing being present and observing what is without judgment. So like the breeze brushes against your face, to not place a judgment on it, whether it feels nice or not. It simply just is. And in trying to do that with my children, just acknowledging what is rather than placing a judgment on it, I suddenly noticed the negative, the judgments that were appearing in my head, that I was aware of what they were. And a lot of the time when I'm feeling overwhelmed or I'm struggling with them, it's because I don't want to give them my attention. I'm placing a negative association on them drawing my attention away from myself. And when I am going through a lot of emotional processes, it is an inward focus, and I do sometimes struggle to focus externally. And I think that's me as well, being just my astrological placements. I am very much in my head and very much off with the fairies half the time, but it really helped me. And my boyfriend wanted to go down and he planned this little adventure, taking the bath down the hill, and yeah, just making it, turning the afternoon into a fun thing. And he initially offered for me to go and lay down, and for him to take the kids, and I really, really appreciated that. But just being offered that, I then I then realized that I didn't necessarily need it. I felt like I needed it because I didn't think that I could. But then when I was offered the opportunity to, I realized I didn't need that. And just watching him be so calm and patient with the girls really helped me to release the frustration. And I was then able to join in with the fun and yeah, laugh and play and be light and yeah, just yeah, feeding off that energy of calmness when I wasn't feeling calm within. Sometimes you just need to surround yourself with that. And I didn't actually need to go and lay down and be on my own or meditate or do whatever it was I was planning on doing. Just yeah, having that positive energetic pull was enough to reframe my mind, my way of thinking, into the positive and see what appreciation, what gratitude I could get out of that moment. And then my whole demeanor, my whole mood changed. So yeah, so the theme, I suppose, over the last few days has been observing the wounds that have been coming up. These deep core wounds have been presenting themselves in small ways, but presenting themselves, which is allowing me to not only acknowledge and observe and become aware of what they are, but I'm now doing my mantras and doing the positive self-talk to counteract any of the negative. And just I've been really going into my heart chakra. We're trying to work on my heart chakra and just doing the meditative, filling up with love, and releasing any stuck emotions that I've been holding on to that don't serve me anymore. So I feel like this whole process is just a brightening. We're shedding the layers of who we're not to discover who we really are. And it's beautiful being in that process. So thanks for sharing this with me.